overcast because it's slightly overcast today, but if you have a slightly darker area anyway, if you have hi, what's up? Conrad. So I'm going to be doing ISO, aperture and shutter speed, and maybe I'll throw in a little bit of a bonus, I think in the middle or maybe at the end, I don't know. But first, coffee. Wait, what? So I chose a spot that is, no, I didn't choose this spot. I accidentally took the wrong route, and there's a lot of people walking past, and this is, I think, the second video. My first video is not up yet when I recorded this. This is the second video that I'm shooting, so it's slightly difficult. I think I'm shy. Maybe there's another one coming. Maybe there's another word for it. Yeah, so I'm going to start with, there's definitely someone else coming. And I know that I'm talking to you, but it still feels a little bit strange. Anyway, so I'm going to speak about Aperture. But before I do that, if you could do me a favor and just... I think I'm shy. Anyway, click on the, please do me a favor, click on the subscribe button. I don't like this video. If you do like it, comment. Some people say hit that subscribe button. It would help me, but it would also help you see future videos and see how this whole thing progresses. I don't know if that's a word. And if you are a advanced photographer, just know that this is a beginner thing, so please don't be nasty in the comments, and know that I'm going to leave out some stuff that is not necessary. It's just going to waste some people's time. So hit that subscribe button, like, comment, do whatever you need to do. But anyway, Aperture thing. Is there another person coming? Let me just check. Yeah, that's weird. I know that I'm talking to you, but it's weird. Anyway, so aperture is the size of the lens opening. So the smaller the number, the bigger the, I know it's a bit confusing, but the bigger the lens opens, and the bigger the number. This aperture mainly controls the depth of field. So whatever you focus on, there it controls what is in focus before and behind that particular area. So if you look at image 1, and well, I'm going to throw both of them on there, image 1 and image 2. So image 1, I've opened up the aperture, I've opened up the lens, which means that the aperture is, yeah. If you look at image 2, I want the background to be in, so what I did was I closed the lens down a bit. So that means, and I'll get to shutter and ISO, so that means that the number is, the f-stop is higher, and I wanted more stuff to be in and out of focus. So in other words, with a lower aperture like in image 1, where it is the lens is open really wide, you sort of isolate your subject. You would use this in portrait photography, you would use this in product photography, I mean, you guys could just play around with it. So ISO, you'll see that you would be able to adjust your ISO. Not only are there people, there's also little bugs, but anyway, so ISO is the sensor sensitivity to light. So the lower the ISO, the less sensitive it is, and the higher the ISO, the more sensitive it is. Throw those two images on there. So the one was shot on image number 1 was shot on a low ISO, which meant that it was it's sort of smooth. It was a bit of a dark condition, and you can see if you zoom in, there's it's sort of a decent photo. It's not composed really well, but it's there. Image number 2 you'll see that it's shot in a higher ISO, and the reason why I did this is just to show you, because it was very dark, and you will see that there's a little bit of a mess there. So ISO you would use when you have low light scenarios, like when these two images were shot. You would bump up your ISO to higher so that the sensor can pick up a lot more things in that camera. The downside of this, and especially when you're beginning and you don't have these high-end cameras that everyone is running around with, you'll get noise. So you'll see in image number 2, there's a lot of noise in that image, so you won't be able to necessarily print it to a big size. And I mean, if it's just for I guess for an Instagram post or for a Facebook post, and it was a pretty scene, but there wasn't a lot of light, but that made the image, it wouldn't really matter. I mean, not all of us are going to be great photographers. Okay, what you need to know for now is, if you're outdoors and it's sunny or it's slightly overcast like this today, I think the ISO on this is 100 now. I like it like that. But if you move from here into a darker area, the sun goes down, or you move indoors and there's not a lot of light available, you just bump up that ISO slightly. If it becomes too dark, I'm not going to say, use this light for indoors or use that light. That's where you come in. You have to learn what your camera is able to do. So you would take that from outside, go 100, which is sort of the base, and then you adjust it accordingly. So you walk in, go, okay, cool, I can shoot on this particular ISO indoors. It's not going to affect my image that much. It's not going to. Some people actually like that little bit of a noise there. I mean, I don't, but that. So shutter speed, I haven't taken a picture of so that I can show you how this works. But the faster your shutter is, so if you press that button, you'll something like that. Maybe I'll find a sound that's better. That means that the shutter is really fast. It opens up really quickly and closes, open and closes really quickly. And if you can adjust that so that the shutter opens and closes slower. Right, so again, higher the number in the shutter, the quicker it closes, and then the lower, you can adjust that. So ideally, you would use this if you would use a really fast shutter if you would take photos of your kids, or if you would take photos of sporting events, or if you would take photos of stuff moving like cars, or you want to capture a wave breaking, you want to use a fast shutter. So that's the areas. If you want to slow your shutter down a bit because you want a smooth surface on the sea, or you want that waterfall just to look like slightly milky, you would slow your shutter down, and so that it captures the movement for that 1 second or that 0.5 of a second. You would want it to sort of move. So what I'm going to do, well, hopefully this works. Okay, so in image 1 the shutter was really fast, image 2 the shutter was slower. Simple as that. So what okay, let's say that you want to. So how does it work? So let's say you want to capture this. You want to capture the mountain, you want to capture the foreground, you want to capture the beach at the back, you want to, you want everything to show. You want to show that it is extremely beautiful. You know that if you use your aperture and you use a small hole in your camera, that's a higher aperture, then you would basically capture everything. So you click that shutter button, it goes like that, and you look at the image, you go, it's black. It's black, it's terrible, it's black, oh, it's dark, it's weird, you don't know what to do. So then you know that, okay, you can do one of two things. You could either open your shutter a bit, so that means you can, when you click the button, the shutter just takes a bit longer to open up and close, or you can adjust your ISO. But we know that if you adjust your ISO, there's going to be a little bit of a noise there. So you would rather do your shutter. So you adjust your shutter, you put it on a tripod, and you click. Or you put it on a rock if you don't have a tripod, or you put it on something that's sort of stable, and you click. And you click. And you click. And you see that the image came out. All right. Anyway, let's for argument's sake say you want to take it would be great. Anyway, guys, thank you. I'm done. I think I'm done. I'm gonna try and find a shot that I can show you what shutter speed does, and that might be a whale. Cheers. Click subscribe, like, hit it, do whatever you need to do it. It doesn't even rhyme with hit it, but that would help a lot. Take pictures, use this, fail, get up and use it again. Okay, cheers.